Feel like you're always losing your good ideas? Feel like you're a little overwhelmed because your brain is so full of stuff? Let me tell you, my best productivity hack for never losing a good idea and for getting all of that great stuff that's in your head down on paper. Okay, so here's what I do. Composition notebook, you can get them at Walmart, you can get them on Amazon, wherever. I usually do some kind of like decorating on the first page. Sometimes I write a scripture verse that might be my verse for the year. Sometimes I tape cute things into the flaps. The second page is the magic page. So the second and third page are the table of contents. So on the table of contents, any page that you're gonna wanna refer back to, let's say you make a list of goals for 2020 or goals for January or books I wanted to read this year or whatever, you're gonna record those in the table of contents with the page number so that you can find them. The brilliant thing about that is, so then I number the pages. So the brilliant thing about that is you just keep using the next page. So my first page was sermon notes. I don't know if you take sermon notes. I don't know if you go to church, but my first page was sermon notes. I'm not really gonna need to reference that back probably, but after that, I did a course online and I took a bunch of notes on that course. So I might wanna reference that. So that was on page 3 and 4. So I'll go back to my table of contents. I will put page 3 and 4, goal setting course notes. Then I can go back and refer to that. My next double spread was this beautiful baby, which is the planning out of my content for the next year. So I'm a life and health coach and I do tons of content regularly. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, at Edie Wadsworth. If you don't follow me on Facebook, you should. I'm Dr. Edie Wadsworth there. I do lots of live videos and share lots of fun stuff in my stories. So I for sure want to be able to find this page. So I go put, okay, on pages 5 and 6. Sometimes I do these like, you know, fancy, colorful, these are just sticky notes and washi tape. I was drawing out my content for a whole year, but most of the time it just looks like lists and brainstorming and all of that. I do love, you know, some good washi tape every now and then. Are my content plan for the year. And then the next few pages, I broke that down even more and I spelled out exactly what the content was gonna be for January, February, March, April, for the rest of the year. So I for sure wanna know what that is, so then I go mark it in my table of contents. So then you just keep using the next page. So if the next page, I wanna do a meal plan for next week, then I can do that. A lot of times I feel like, and I do use a traditional planner for my appointments and such, but I feel like a lot of times with a planner, we feel like, oh, I don't know how many pages I'm gonna need for this. You don't have to know with this amazing method of bullet journaling. All you do is use the next page, and if it's something you want to remember, then you go back and mark it on the table of contents. The other thing that I use quite a bit is these sticky notes, and I do that so that if I'm making a list, for example, if I'm making a grocery list, often I will make it on a sticky note because then I can just take that sticky note out and there I go. We'll talk more in a later video about my batch method or block system. Also, before I forget, if you don't want to take notes during this video but want all of the info, I have a download. Just go to bulletjournalingformamas.com, M-A-M-A-S.com, and we'll send you a download of all the things that I keep in my bullet journal, ideas for pages and lists, etc. So bulletjournalingformamas.com. You can click down below in the description. I'll put a link there. But remember, it's M-A-M-A-S. I use the sticky notes in order to put things that, first of all, that I might want to take out of my bullet journal and take with me, some kind of list, things that I want to batch together. If I want to batch together some phone calls, I usually save phone calls for when I'm in the car. And it's so nice to be able to just take this. It has the people I need to call. I just take it in my car with me or whatever. So I love that. We'll talk more about batch batching things or block scheduling later. But what I love about the bullet journal, and one of these can get me through 3 or 4 months, depending on how many great ideas I have. I love using it for all the things that I love keeping track of, books that I'm reading, recipes I want to try, meal planning. I use it on Sunday evenings. I do this thing called Sunday night prep. So I use my bullet journal to write down all the things that are swimming through my head on Sunday evening about the next week. And then I will prioritize them into a list and then put them into my actual calendar. I also meal plan from here. I will sometimes just jot down, if it's a really busy week, I'll kind of give myself a week at a glance, like here's everything I have on Tuesday, here's everything on Wednesday. So I just use it for so many things. And it has become such a part of my life that literally if I lost it, I would die. That's a lot of times why, because I work from home, so that's kind of why a lot of times I don't actually take it with me. I just keep these sticky notes in here and take those with me because I've lost my journal before. I did find it. But yeah, so I use the sticky notes a lot, but I love this method of keeping everything in one place. So I don't have to have a different journal or a different book, you know, for multiple different things. I use that for everything for 3 or 4 months, and then I get a new one. You should see right in there in my office, I have a huge stack of these from the past few years, and I can look in there. What's so cool about it, you guys, I can look in there and find ideas for things that I jotted down years ago that now have become a reality because I didn't lose the idea, because I was able to capture it, get this stuff out of my head so I don't feel overwhelmed, and really get it down in a place where I can use it and create amazing things from it. So I hope you'll try it. Let me know down below. If you already have a method of journaling you love, I would love to hear about that. If you've never tried this and you're interested, tell me below in the comments. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel and click that little bell button so you'll know when I have new videos coming. Love you guys, see ya.